Alrighty, we are back with that good message. Don't smoke.
I agree.
Something else he endorses. All right, very good, very good. So we're definitely getting some good stuff. And listen, if you're just tuning in, this is Brian Goldberg running for U.S. Senate. Definitely check him out here. He's with us for the rest of the hour and answering some questions, learning who he is, what he's about.
Very important questions, political stances and everything.
Of course, and there's no better time to be discussing this than right now, and especially, I think, at college radio, because, listen, as students, we need to be aware of what's going on and what's really going to help us. And it's refreshing to hear the truth. And we only speak the truth here at the Mind of Marchese.
And you got to have, you have to know where people stand on both sides, every issue, because there's always two sides to one issue. So
exactly. All right, Charlie.
If I can jump in on that,
sure.
We actually have a large outreach towards to people in college and the young Republicans throughout the state. It's been a big focus of my campaign. I don't know if you guys are going to ask me a question at some point on this or not, but I have a tagline: empowerment, not entitlement. And one of the things, while that's a broad thing and a lot of economic policy and things come from that, one of the other things is on a personal note. I believe in empowering people by letting them get involved with my campaign. Even as a business person, when I had interns, I would let interns sit in on high-level meetings and things like that. Yesterday, I took some campaign staffers to meet some county chairs. I'm very much about letting people get empowered, letting them learn the ropes, because I'm not going to be here forever, and whoever's doing it today isn't going to be here forever. We need to keep the future moving forward, and we need to keep everybody there. So certainly, I'm very, very interested in the outreach. As a matter of fact, my personal assistant, her business cards say youth coordinator. So we're very into that.
You know what's good about that, too, is by getting people involved, by getting students involved, it helps us, because what we need to do is start thinking as an individual and start thinking by ourselves. And none of this, because I'm so sick of every time someone mentions Fox News, oh, that Fox, oh, my God. What about it? I could say the same thing about CNN. I could say the same thing about CNBC or whatever other station you want. I watch The Blaze. I could say, you know what I mean? So we have to stop thinking of, I don't care, media on either side, then just leave it alone and know that whatever newspaper you pick up, know what's real, do your research, know what you believe,
Absolutely.
Not just what your parents believe or what your friend believes. We need to start thinking by ourselves.
Do your own research and then come up with a good solution for what,
Look, I'm 100%.
Your research.
I'm 100% open to someone disagreeing with me, but why? Tell me why you disagree with me.
Very good. Absolutely.
So that definitely, by getting people involved, bringing them in, especially students, will start thinking more as individuals, and that's what's going to help us, thrive in the world. And basically, for lack of a better word, not sound stupid when we get in a conversation with someone.
There you go.
We want facts. Where's the facts? So this is good that we're doing this here.
Speaking of coming off of empowering everyone, New Jersey is a huge Democratic threshold.
Sure.
Democrats basically outrank registered Republicans and not independents. Independents make up the majority.
Well, actually, that's the thing. The independents make up the majority, so that's where you need to target in order to win the state.
Yeah, so that's what you're gonna try to campaign
Well, again, this idea, this message of hope, I call it, that I believe people can succeed, and that I want to go to Washington and help you succeed. Right? I don't want to just go to Washington to help you and give you a handout. I want to go to Washington to help you succeed. Someone who's right now living and they're paying rent and they want to eventually buy a home. They want to buy a home. They don't want the government to give them a home.
Exactly.
I want to help them get to where they can be so they can have that piece of the American dream and buy a home or something along those lines. So I believe that's the message that will resonate. The people I've already started talking to have been very receptive to it on across party lines, across racial lines, across demographic lines. It's something that really, really resonates because most people do believe in themselves and they want to know that other people do as well.
Yeah.
And anybody who's been struggling, sometimes you need to hear that I believe in you, and I do. I believe in Americans. That's what it's all about.
Definitely.
Yeah. I have another question here, obviously. If you had to describe yourself as a candidate in one word, what would it be?
Either empowering or empowerment, right? So, how people tell you should keep a little notepad next to your bedside table, so if you wake up in the night, you scribble something down. So about 7 years ago, I have a notepad, and about 7 years ago, I rolled over and I wrote down empowerment, not entitlement. And I said, someday I'm going to run for something, and that's going to be my tagline. I didn't save the piece of paper, unfortunately, because, it would be sort of cool to have. But that's it. That gelled way back when, and it's been something that really has crystallized. That what can government do? Government shouldn't just be there giving handouts and helping people just for the sake of helping people. Government needs to empower people to succeed on their own so that they can eventually help the next person, help the rest of the people succeed. So that's what I'm all about. I'm all about empowering.
So basically, like, your view on government is that it shouldn't be there to, like, basically give people things. It should be there to, like...
Don't hold my hand. Teach me how to walk.
There you go.
Then I'll walk myself.
That's right. You know, religious people might say, you know, you don't give a man a fish. You teach him to fish so we can eat every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and all right, so obviously I'm a college student. I'm growing up, and I kind of like politics and, you know, film and everything. So I have, like, this whole entire list of, like, idols that, like, you know, I don't know, Christopher Nolan's one, you know, Daniel Radcliffe for Harry Potter's the other. my political idols, you know, they're far and wide ranging. So, like, if you were, like, to pick a political idol,
sure,
basically either, like, past, like, one who's already, like, lived, like, I don't know, George Washington, or, like...
You're close.
or one that's currently living, like, who would you, like, pick, and why?
Okay, so my overall political idol would probably be John Adams. I look at what the Founding Fathers accomplished at the threat of hanging and, you know, fighting the most powerful government in the world at the time, and they created America. They created this institution of democracy that had not existed before in any type of form that we see, and they created a constitution that is the framework that survives and lives and breathes today. So, as one of the key people who fought for it, I also sort of like he's known for his bullheadedness. He was relentless in his pursuit of independence. He believed in it. And for those reasons, I very much appreciate. And I'll throw in the sort of corny reason as well. My favorite musical of all time is 1776. So he's the star of the show, and I always love that.
All right, and what about, like, your, like, current political idol?
So people have asked me that a couple of times, and I don't know that I really have an answer. Maybe because as I'm running for the United States Senate, I'm going to be running into these people that are current political big figures, and I don't know if I want them to have a swelled head. We'll put it that way. So,
but, like, basically, like, if you go down to, like, Washington D.C., who would you, like, would you aim to, like, basically be someone, like, I don't know, like Rand Paul or something like that, or would you, like, try to, like, basically, you know, go down there and be your own individual and try to, like, basically, like, you know, create like a whole entire, like, you know, story for your name and for, like, New Jersey, and, you know.
But definitely the latter. You know, I don't think that you get much done if you just latch on to someone else, and especially not as a senator. You know, there's only 100 senators, and each one has to bring their own game, their own individuality. So maybe that's part of it as well. You know, big supporter of some of the people. You know, Rand Paul has definitely done some good things for our country. You know, some of the other people that have been mentioned and possibly running for 2016, that'll definitely become part of the political element of it, as what hopefully a sitting U.S. senator at the time, New Jersey being a key state probably in the 2016 election. I think it'll be very interesting. But no, I don't plan on going to Washington and, you know, finally meeting my idol and now I can just fall into lockstep. Definitely think for myself and, you know, hopefully be able to bring New Jersey representation there, because that's the other problem we've been having with someone. You know, we had Senator Lautenberg for 30 plus years. You know, Bob Menendez has been there for a while. He was in Congress before, and they represent a very, very one-sided view of everything. And New Jersey is definitely a melting pot, middle of the road kind of state. And
this is like the most populated state, so like there's like the most political views in the whole entire like country.
Absolutely.
Like, actually, maybe like New York would probably come up like second, but because of the city. But you know,